Hello and welcome to Shirley Park July course report. I've got great news for you. Hopefully you're all aware that the irrigation electrics has been heavily invested in after all the years. Since 1974 our irrigation system goes back, and it's given me nothing but problems, my previous course report and blogs have been saying. So that job is now finished. So I'm just going to show you some of where the investment's been spent. These green boxes that are around every green and tee contain all the components that fire the sprinklers around greens. So down here, this is what was causing the problem. These wires were these wires, and if you look at the thickness difference, these are what corrode since they've been in the ground since 1974. They corrode, break apart, and now we've got these massive thick ones that shouldn't fault and give the computer issues for at least the next sort of 10 years. So that's good. We've got lots of other all new components down here as well. So that's just a valve there. The big grey thing is a valve that allows water. When this gets a signal, it allows water to the greens. So we've now got what look like pretty new boxes, valve boxes around greens. So everything that's in that has all been upgraded. So the good news is that we've got a new controller in the yard as well, and when we set that to come on, it now doesn't fault. So the weight and stress off my shoulders is great and fantastic, so I'm really pleased about that. But for you guys, it now means that you have a reliable irrigation system. Most importantly, how does that look on the face of it? So what it will give to you is less drier greens. You'll have greener greens in the summer when it's hot. And also when we do renovations and we make the holes, you'll get much quicker recovery, because now when we do renovations like last year in September when it's still warm, the irrigation failed last September and the pumps failed and we couldn't add water, which stops the grass growing, and the holes were still exposed. They're not growing over and sealing up. So that process will become a lot better for you and a lot smoother. The pumps were invested in as well, so don't forget about that as well. We had new pumps put in March, so the whole electric side of the golf course is now tickety-boo and all working. Don't think you've got a working irrigation system though. I don't want to put a dampener on it, but the pipe work is now the weakest link. That is still 50 years old, and if you've got a Ferrari engine in a classic car, it's still going to start blowing parts. So we'll deal with leaks. Each year there'll be a couple of leaks. We'll dig these up, and it's just glue a bit of pipe in and bridge the gap. So not as much of an issue as the system not coming on. So for the future, what does this mean now? So this now means that instead of us being flat out with irrigation substituting the computer and automated system, we can now have that person back in the team giving their labour and hours to the golf course. So we have spiked all the greens with a tiny little micro hole. We haven't been able to do that all year, and that's really good for the health of the greens. So we've done this before the Calcutta Cup and they've responded very well. We're going to thin the surfaces out, which will increase ball speed a little because there's less friction, less thatch, but we're going to do that over the next 2 weeks. We're also now going to start rolling like we did last year, 2 to 3 times a week. So the greens gradually over the next month will start to speed up. This is something that we did last year. They were good greens last year for speed and trueness. And this year, because of the stress of the irrigation system, we've had to treat them very delicately and fragile. But we can now start ramping all this back up again as we head towards the Calcutta Cup. There's a couple of other tasks around the course that have been put on the back burner while we did the irrigation. So we're going to be lifting the tree canopies, those low branches that in your backswing, you know, you hit the low canopy. We're going to start lifting those on 17, a couple of trees on 18. Might not get them all done for the Calcutta Cup, but we're going to do our best. And then gradually just ramping up the maintenance on other things that have just been waylaid this year because of the irrigation. So that's the good news for the future, is that you've got a reliable irrigation system and we can now get back on top of some of the jobs that have been delayed. So stay tuned for another update shortly and catch you soon.